learn about one of the most essential vehicles contributing to the everyday function of an airport, the Follow Me vehicle. Its general purpose is to guide aircraft to designated parking gates or specific areas of the airport safely. It's used when arriving pilots are unfamiliar with the airport or when the aircraft requires special support during taxiing. We will be using the black and yellow checkered Follow Me vehicle parked at the terminal for this task. Approach and enter the vehicle. An inbound aircraft will be arriving soon, and I have received information that the crew has requested Follow Me support. Start the vehicle and activate its warning lights. Open the tablet and switch to the Map tab. You will see the route to meet the aircraft at the designated taxiway intersection. Remember that every aircraft moving on the apron has priority on taxiways and intersections. Drive on the designated roads on the apron near the terminal. step-by-step what you need to do. Position yourself in front of the plane so that the back of your vehicle is facing the aircraft's nose. Now, you need to activate the Follow Me sign on the roof of your vehicle so that the pilot knows to follow you. Follow the instructions displayed on screen. Great! Now follow the map's path directions to the parking area assigned to this aircraft. Maintain a speed of about 30 kilometers an hour. Stay within sight of the pilots and do not stray too far from the aircraft. The distance between you and the aircraft should never be less than. If you need the aircraft to stop suddenly, press the displayed button, which activates the stop sign on your vehicle's display. road in the designated area. You have just learned how to perform a general follow-me procedure. In any case, you'll have to be constantly conscious of the traffic of other aircraft on the airport apron and triple check which stand you need to bring the aircraft to. See you. In this tutorial, you will learn how to work as an aircraft marshaller. Some of the gates are equipped with an automatic visual docking guidance system, or AVDGS, which, just like a marshaller, except digital, also guides an aircraft correctly into parking gates. The remaining stands that do not have this system are handled by a member of ground crew to marshal aircraft in. The goal is for the marshaller to assist the pilot in accurately maneuvering the aircraft onto the correct parking tee. The cockpit crew sit above the main wheel of the aircraft and don't have clear visibility to provide an exact idea of its location. So it's crucial this process is accurately managed from the outside to result in the most correct parking position, allowing equipment such as jetways to properly and safely connect to the aircraft. As you can see, the correct points or parking tees are marked on the central line where the aircraft is supposed to park. Each aircraft should stop with its front wheel on the line. At Vagar, there are special cases where the lines are painted and marked differently than usual. Pilots must make an almost 90-degree turn so that the ground markings are visible correctly when they approach the stand head-on. Each gate is marked by a white or red line. As you can see at the first stand, there are cones lying there. Your task is to clear the stand and move them to a safe place. We have a designated area where you must carry the cones to. An aircraft is already approaching the stand. Take up position by the stand, following the information displayed on the screen. The aircraft has now positioned itself at the base of the stand. Guide it to the second tee, which is highlighted. Remember that the parked aircraft's front wheels must be on the line, and the aircraft itself should be as parallel to it as possible. Follow the controls displayed on screen to guide the aircraft. Great! You have just learned how to marshal an aircraft onto a stand safely and accurately. See you next time! Now I'll teach you how to operate a ground power unit, which is known as GPU in aviation jargon. You're probably wondering, what exactly does the GPU do? Besides what its name gives away, let me explain that to you. After landing, the aircraft generates electricity from the engines. But as you may have noticed, the aircraft shuts down its engines faster than we can connect and start the GPU. Shortly after landing, the crew start the auxiliary power unit, or APU for short, which will generate electricity for the aircraft until we, the ground handling crew, connect the GPU to the aircraft, which will power the aircraft more efficiently and at a lower fuel price. During this time, the cockpit crew and ground handling can perform their assigned tasks without a cut in power to the aircraft. Okay, now you need to use the tug parked in the marked area and transport the GPU to the position next to the aircraft. There's already an aircraft parked there, which is scheduled to depart soon. This will give us a chance to show you the complete process of connecting and disconnecting the GPU. Before you start, you need to connect the GPU to the tow hook of the tug so that you can transport it. It's quite simple. You need to back up the tug so that the hook is close to coupling with the GPU. Then get out of the tug, approach the rear and follow. Great! Just remember that you hook and unhook other trailers in the same way. Hop back in the tug and head over to the aircraft as indicated. Now, detach the GPU from the tug and go to the rear side of it, where you'll need to open the hatch revealing the control panel. Now I'll show you the generator startup sequence. You'll operate it using the controls displayed on screen as we go. Toggle the power on button. This will activate the generator battery. Now you'll need to hold down the engine start button for approximately 3 seconds until the engine starts. Now we have to wait 30 seconds until the engine heats up and the oil temperature reaches 80 degrees Celsius. In the meantime, go to the nose of the aircraft and open the hatch where the connector is located. the side of the GPU, there's a slot containing a cable. You need to pick up the cable and plug it into the aircraft's power socket. To pick up the cable, follow the action displayed on screen. Connect the cable to the aircraft's power socket. Perfect! Now go back to the panel and switch the engine setting knob from idle to run. Then press the DC output button to the on position. Now notify the cockpit crew through the communication panel that they can turn off the APU and switch to GPU power. Open this panel using the controls displayed on screen. Navigate to the flight deck option, then APU, and then turn off the APU. Great! Now the aircraft is powered only by the GPU, and the rest of the ground crew and the aircraft crew can continue with their work. Now it's time to teach you how to disconnect an aircraft's ground power prior to departure. Obviously, we can't just unplug the cable and leave the crew without power. When you finish all your other tasks and it's time to disconnect the GPU, you'll need to inform the crew that they can start the APU. We'll teach you how to do that on this aircraft. Head over to the indicated area. Approach the aircraft from the side where the GPU is parked. Your task now is to notify the cockpit crew that they may start the APU. To do this, open the communication panel using the controls displayed on screen. Select Flight Deck, APU, and Start APU. Great! The crew has just started the APU. Go to the back of the aircraft, specifically under its tail, and listen to the APU's startup sequence. If you want to, remove your protective headphones using the displayed button. To check the startup progress, open the tablet and select the aircraft you're currently at. In the task table, you'll find information about the startup progress. The APU is now fully operational. Now go to the panel and switch the DC output to off. Then turn the engine switch from run to idle. Finally, unplug the cable connected to the aircraft and place it back into the GPU. Great! Everything went according to plan. Now you need to return the GPU to the designated location at the parking ramp to complete the tutorial. Congratulations! You've just learned how to operate the GPU after arrival and before departure of an aircraft. See you later!